DJ Lowell here, coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia. Now, we can be anywhere we want. We got a green screen. Now, we're in the rooftop, South Philly. I got a special treat for you guys this evening. You won't be seeing much of me because, as my pastor used to say, less of me, more of you, all of you, none of me. Okay, so we're going to introduce some new characters to the podcast, and we're going to have a little bit of fun. Would you all like to introduce yourselves?
Coming live and direct to you once again, I think. It's your boy Dene here, 1/3 of the Mansplaining Podcast, here with the rest of the crew this time. They can all introduce themselves.
No, you did a good job.
Okay, moving right along.
You nailed it. Yeah. Sally Sal.
That's your boy Sally Sal in the building.
Sally Sal.
I was just going to say Sal, but you know, you wanted to call it out. I said it.
And you, sir?
My name is Motto, and I'm 1/3 of the Mansplaining Podcast.
All right, great. So I'm glad to have you guys here today. So what we want to do first is I always bring someone onto the podcast. We'll make sure that everyone understands the nature of the relationship. So I'll say this. Eugene here, give you a little backstory. Sometimes you just need people in your life, right? And this little gentleman, this little gentleman right here, I DJ, I karaoke quizzo, music bingo, comedy. I do poetry. Oh yeah, don't forget poetry. I do all that. If I call this guy, he shows up to anything. He's always there. So, when he was like, the only thing he wanted to return...
My camera. That's your camera right there, man.
See, I'm new at this.
That's your camera.
Okay, my bad. It's a work in progress. They was on the back of my shirt. USA.
That's the camera you talk to.
Eugene
right
invited me to his podcast, and I learned about doing podcasts. So now I want to interview them about their podcast and see what's going on. They've been doing this a lot longer than I have. So, and obviously, if these two dudes rock with you, then I rock with them too. So how do you guys all know each other?
Church. Next question.
Yeah, perfect. Okay.
No, they know each other. They went to
we went to Mansfield together and played ball together.
Gotcha.
This motherfucker moved in when he was 9 years old, right next to me.
Yeah, I moved up.
Like we shared
Mom,
the
we'll
window.
take that MF off there. It's a family. We try to keep it a family show.
no
But
cursing.
you want to curse? Fine. Just let them know. We'll put a disclaimer on it. Go for it. Make yourself known.
Whatever. I can do a clean show.
My mom's working. She listens. Hey, you guys all know that you guys all know that I'm DJ one take, so we don't do editing. So
Gotcha.
it is what it is. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay, keep going. Don't get thrown.
No, we did a show one time. We did one of his podcasts. Did you just throw a laugh track in the middle of me trying to talk?
Can I cue the laugh tracks?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Cue the laugh tracks.
Hey, I just got my Biden check. They should have never gave these brothers too much money. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
So,
All right, finish.
where was I?
I don't know.
I don't know
30
either.
The clean show.
Oh, we tried to do a clean show, and it just never.
I gotta take this.
As we all look at our phones.
I gotta make sure.
My camera right here got a little battery. Come on.
Okay, moving right along. The camera's rolling.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
No worries.
I think your battery's about to die or something.
Yeah, we're 20%, so that's important.
We gotta be fast.
Yeah, we gotta hurry.
So we tried to do a clean podcast a couple months ago, and it just never came out because I unconsciously cussed.
Oh no, it came out 20-minute episode, and he got all the way to the end and said shit. So it was like, I said, yo, I told you no curse. He said, did I curse?
Can't you just edit that?
Yeah, I edited it out. I just edited it out.
Okay. All right. Cool.
No, but he was loud also at the same time.
Oh yeah, it was loud. Yeah,
He was loud.
definitely loud.
Perfect.
He was trying to monetize, and I said shit.
Monetize. Speaking of monetize, let's talk about the podcast. What's the name of your podcast?
Our podcast is called Mansplaining. Mansplaining Podcast.
You want to explain what mansplaining means?
Mansplaining is simply what it is.
I wanted
It's
him to
just-
explain it because he hates the title of the show. Because he don't think we mansplain anything.
Well,
He
I hate
hates
the
the
title
title.
of the show because the show's supposed to be called Mansplaining.
Yeah, but he
And
don't
while
explain
we are men, the show should be called Three Men Talking Shit.
Timing on the laugh track. I like that.
Because that's all we do.
Three stupid dogs.
There you go. That's really
He
what it
wants
is.
three stupid dogs.
That's what I
He
wanna
wants
call it.
3 men talking
Three
shit.
stupid dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, we love dogs. We love dogs. So we can't. I mean, we're an animal cruelty-free
We got
country.
live last year.
Dogs are smarter than some people sometimes. Don't get it twisted. But so you've got mansplaining. It's been out there for how long?
Oh my God, that's a good
No
question.
corona.
Ooh, almost 2 years
That's
now,
a
right?
good question.
What?
I think we're approaching. I think we're approaching. We either
70 episodes?
no. I'm talking about how many years. I think we're doing
I'm
since
pretty sure-
2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is about to be the second year.
Yeah.
In May.
We're going on 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years in May.
Okay,
That's crazy.
so there's always the there's always the opportunity to rebrand yourself. So if you wanted to revisit that, but the content in every episode is something you said a safe space for men, right? Isn't that the
That's
your
all our podcast is basically about. It's just a safe space for 3 black men to come and sit down and just talk shit.
so
Some of them make
where
sense.
is a non-safe space for a black man today in America?
Schools, churches, work, Wawa, but name it. Like black men are safe.
Street, their porch, going for a run. Yeah, there you go. And that's what happens. That's the result.
You know what I was thinking of? How 50 said, many men come on. Yo, pull off. That's all I heard in my head when I heard that. Yo, pull off. Yo, son, pull off.
No.
Trigger.
Wasn't that a Dipset song?
No, it was a 50 Cent, many men. Yeah.
No, another one.
Wait,
Somebody
wait,
used a John
wait.
Gotti.
There's plenty of
Three-
songs that
wait.
have gunshots in
Man,
them.
so let's focus on 3 stupid dogs. Yeah, I like that.
Yo, you just want to play with your little laugh track
Hey, listen.
on our live.
They should
on
have
our
never.
episode.
They should have never
That's
gave
all you want to do.
gentlemen money.
There you go.
All right, so where is this podcast going? Where do you guys see it going in the next 2 years?
Oh, we're gonna get canceled. For sure. For sure. You kidding?
Surprising last
Surprisingly, we did
He
last
can't,
2
he
years.
can't stop talking about domestic violence.
In a positive way or a
He's
negative way?
misogynistic.
I love women. Women can do anything.
No.
No.
You
No,
are.
he's
you
misogynistic.
are-
He's a misogynistic pig.
Yes.
Take this nugget with you.
He's also a
The
baby
richest woman in the world
He's a
is
baby
only
killer.
rich because she got divorced to the richest guy in the world. Let that nugget soak into your brain. The richest woman in the world is only the richest woman in the world because she divorced the richest man in the world.
I won't be coming on your podcast anytime soon. I got friends out in these streets. I'm
I
just talking
love
out there.
women.
But
Women
listen,
are
I'm
great.
glad you have a platform where you can be safe in a safe space to have a
Right.
conversation.
To say shit like
And
that.
so the thing
And
is,
don't get
the
canceled.
thing is though, what does cancel culture really mean? Because a lot of people are talking about cancel culture, Dr. Seuss, Michael Jackson, the Me Too movement. The Me Too movement, from what I understand, is people who are in a position of authority taking advantage of people that submit to them. Unless you're doing that, how are you guys going to get canceled? Now, and there's another thing you want to focus in on too, is that no news is good news in show business. If you say something that's controversial, that's going to get eyeballs sometimes. But some people are like shock jocks, but that's not what you guys are going for, is it?
Well,
That's definitely a
basically,
shot job.
well, basically, getting canceled is a new form of way of publicity. If somebody was to say you're getting canceled, or you see canceled in the headlines, everybody's going to run to why you're being canceled and figure out, oh, they didn't say anything. This is just like half the time people
That's
say
such
canceled for
it's
clickbait.
such an interesting point because if you don't recall, Shane Gillis got signed for SNL, and he
That was
got
whack.
canceled
I'm
for
aware of
doing the
this.
comment about the Asian individual, and I was going around because he's on the same stage that I'm on.
Right.
Shout out to DJ Lowell. But people said, I said, yo, the man just got canceled. That's your dream.
He
And they were
just
like,
got that
and they were
shit.
like,
Yeah.
he's about to blow up, bro.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
weird. Next thing he was booked at headlining at Helium a couple weeks later. And then, I mean, so you're right. There's
No,
something definitely to that.
Cancel culture now is clickbait culture.
Clickbait
Like,
culture.
just clickbait culture.
When you really think about it, who's actually canceled? Like, name someone who's actually been canceled.
So if you think cancel, if R. Kelly's got a catalog of music that he gets
it?
royalties, I'm answering, or if the Cosby Show, they can't watch anymore, there's royalties, and those are canceled, they're not making money anymore because of something that
Those
happened.
2 men were arrested. Give me somebody who was canceled by popular, like by the people.
No, you can actually stay right there on R. Kelly. R. Kelly still got placements.
I'm never
on
gonna.
YouTube,
I'm never gonna stop
Spotify.
listening to R. Kelly.
Right.
I'm just saying,
So
what is
you're
what it
always
is.
going to continue to monetize this shit somehow.
Who is the comedian with the red hair? one that got-
Carrot Top? No.
The guy that was exposing himself.
Louis
to
Black?
people. There you go.
Oh,
Louis
Louis
C.K.
Louis C.K.
He got canceled. You ain't heard shit from him.
Yeah, he's been under.
Yeah.
I don't think he got canceled.
Yes and
Well,
no.
no, he
He
did
didn't
get
get,
canceled.
he didn't get canceled.
He did. Well, the Me Too movement.
He
That
could,
nigga
he,
got
could do,
canceled.
he could do helium today or tomorrow.
Yep.
Right.
I
he
mean,
didn't get canceled.
he probably could, but is he? No.
he got
So
he
for
got,
all intents and purposes,
his progress is stalled. He can't do big stages right now. He can
Yeah.
do,
you can't do nothing.
Helium will toss him a check.
I might even go if CK's doing it. Louis CK's hilarious.
Punchline will toss him a check.
But
Let's
so
be honest.
I don't know the whole dynamics of, and all these things they break news, and then the story keeps getting bigger and bigger. But Dave Chappelle went on stage and said he got canceled for jerking off in a plant or jerking off in his stomach.
Yeah.
So how is that getting canceled? He did something that's embarrassing. So what does it mean that's being canceled? People
Crazy
keep
part
people
is-
keep conflating the Me Too
So-
movement.
Crazy
They can
part is
do
he
it.
actually asked permission.
Yeah, that's what makes me mad about that whole situation.
What did he say? Can I masturbate first?
Yeah. That's literally what he said.
He asked the
What
chick
you
if he
guys
could
are
masturbate
failing to realize is this, and I want to share this because if I'm gonna put my name on this, I don't want to get canceled. I'm not trying to get canceled like y'all niggas. If you are a boss and you ask your secretary, "Can I fuck you in the bathroom?" she's gonna say yes because she wants to keep her job.
I'm sexist. That's the
So
most sexist
when
thing I've heard all day.
you say that and someone is the I'm trying to share the love here because if he says she said I could do it, that's not okay. If he's in a position of power, that's the whole deal about the Me Too movement, the cancel
We
culture.
get that.
Okay, got you. Good.
We get that.
But you just said, but she said yes. It was someone.
Because he did, yo,
That's really
sometimes you
corny.
got to be strong enough to just say no.
No.
But what Dave Chappelle said, you can't make it in life because he jerked off on the phone. But you ain't gonna make it in Hollywood. That's
There
the
you go.
Dave Chappelle joke. That's Dave Chappelle joke.
That's
No,
what
listen,
Dave
But Dave
Chappelle-
Chappelle can say that shit.
Listen, the most important thing I ever learned watching the Boondocks is
What's-
when Riley said she seen the piss coming. A, she could have moved. B, she could have stuck in there and stayed with it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just making a point.
I think she wanted to get people.
She had decisions.
Hey.
She had options.
I think she enjoyed being people.
She chose. Listen, I had a girl tell me, "Will you pee on me?" Ask me.
Did you do it?
No, I didn't do it. She was my chick at the time, and then I was mad because we broke up. It's Dookie Clumps. It was that girl.
Oh.
Is that episode 6?
I think so. But yeah, she was my chick at the time. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna pee on you because you're my chick. Like I like you. If you was to jump off, yeah, I'll pee on you. I'll pee on you.
Should have peed on her.
I should have peed on her because we're not together.
I'm gonna piss on you.
Wish I
Yes,
was.
you. I piss on you. I'm peeing on you.
Mom, I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's hard booking good talent, so I gotta work with what I gotta work with here. So just please, that's why I'm not on the camera. Mom, I love you. Everything's cool. Talking about these Dookie Clubs, piano. Anyway,
First of all, Dookie Clumps
gotta hear
is
the
an
episode.
episode.
You gotta hear the episode.
You
It's an
gotta
see,
hear
episode.
now you're acting strategically. You're giving a little tease. Come in and see Dookie Clubs. Well, we'll shout out their social media information at the end of this, so don't
Yes.
get it twisted. But,
Yes.
And then we'll highlight episode 6 Dookie Clumps, and then we'll check that out.
Yeah, you gotta hear the full story.
The whole story is amazing.
You would definitely understand.
Well, there's 3 sides to every story. This side we hear right now is not so appealing, but we'll see the whole story, okay? All right.
It's not my story to tell.
What's that?
It's not my story to tell.
Gotcha. So, when you guys got into doing a podcast, what was the biggest vision? Just to get money, retire, independent wealth,
To
just sit in a safe space all day and talk
That's
crap
it.
and just
That's
make money
honestly-
doing it?
That's like, all right. So the podcast started with Trak here, who is, if you go underneath our name, SR Now. That's our umbrella underneath of him. He's the brains behind it.
Who is?
Trak.
And everyone, I want everyone to understand something. When I went on your podcast, I don't know what a podcast was.
Oh, you did
When I
say
saw this gentleman over there, and I saw him pushing these buttons, and don't get it twisted, I'm a DJ, so I could probably figure it out. But I saw him doing this microphone check, this, that, and the third. I saw things going wrong. I'm like, I'm gonna have to figure that out. Shout out to you, sir, the brains behind the situation.
And I had to put the play together. Like I seen what he already had other podcasts set up, but
He
they
called
wasn't-
himself All Things Podcast or something like that. Isn't that what you said?
No, my life is a podcast.
His life is a
His
podcast.
life is a podcast.
So he already had 13 podcasts set up. I feel it was
13?
no, it was about
I
8.
think we 8 active, but I mean, bro, it's actually, we want to add them all up. It's like 30. Yeah, it's like 30.
Oh, so, I mean, we want to know more about these other podcasts, too. Do you have a link tree?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
That's our media.
Okay.
Our media company, man. That's our now. That's our media company. Go fuck
Okay.
Wolfless.
Okay.
Shout out to 1-800-VIBES. Who else we got?
Courtney
Hip Hop
Slime.
Slime. Courtney Kai. What else? Off topic,
Stream Fiend,
Stream Fiend, all
off the
that shit.
sports.
All right, we will put all that in the link tree as we're rolling
But
down.
like I said, as you see, you know what I mean, he had it. So
Here's the thing, though.
it was just me to come together and put them two together.
See, here's the thing. It was actually, the story is actually a little unsensational. He texted you, I want to do a podcast. I said, okay. I'm so serious. He said, yo, I've been thinking about I want to do a podcast. All right, cool, here's the story.
And it just happened. And it was the
That's
exact
the
same
same
for me.
thing.
He said, yo, I'm trying to do, he said, you want to do me a favor? I said, yes.
No,
He said, I didn't tell you what it is. I said, are we going to be killing people?
We're
He said,
selling
no.
drugs.
I said, yeah, I'll do it.
Is it legal? Yeah.
That's what it was. There you go.
So at the end of the day, like that's all it was. You know what I mean?
It was just a bunch of niggas saying,
Well,
yes.
let me ask you guys a question, because the podcast and reaching fame is very, very competitive.
Yeah.
So Dean, you said something that you don't listen to anyone else's podcast other than your own. Now I
No, I
think
don't listen to mine.
okay, so okay, so why don't you listen to yours?
So I'm here.
He was there when it got
I'm here
recorded.
now.
Don't you want to learn from what you did and try to perfect it?
So early on,
I do that.
So early on, I would listen to it over and over again, do the perfectionist, all that stuff. Then I realized I got caught up thinking too much during the podcast instead of just like, let me just let it go.
Right.
So here's the thing: there's two schools of thought. If there's someone,
He's an
hold
engineer.
on,
He can fix it.
hold on. There's two schools of thought because we want to figure this out. There's someone like a Lil Wayne who doesn't need to write lyrics; he just comes off top. And there's someone else that might be sit there, rehearse, write it down, think it back, change it this way and a third, and make it perfection. So, are you saying you're a Lil Wayne of podcast? You just come and freestyle, or are you saying that you rehearse the content that you're gonna have and you perfect it?
Well, it's not me. It's the three of us.
I'm definitely a Lil Wayne.
Yeah, one time he didn't have his phone while
I was stuck.
One time he didn't have his phone while we was doing the podcast. He said, "Oh my God, I have to actually pay attention." I was like,
Like, I think the best part about our podcast is the fact that when we sit down, yeah, we got something that we want to talk about amongst the three of us, but our shit is just basically off topic. Like, even if we come with a topic,
It
we're
might not
gonna
get
go
talked
off
about.
topic for
Yeah.
40 minutes. Like, dude, that's our podcast.
How long are your episodes?
40 to 5 minutes to an hour long.
yeah, it varies.
And is it a monthly? Is it weekly?
Weekly, every Thursday.
And then sometimes we throw bonus episodes out there. They're like less than 5 minutes sometimes, like bonus episodes.
So everyone walks around and says everybody's got a podcast, which isn't true.
Everybody should have a podcast. I believe.
Whatever. Everyone should have a microphone. Sorry. Everyone should have a microphone. There are some people that should stay in a corner and get some mental health or something and shouldn't be on a podcast. Everyone should have a microphone.
How would you know that? Unless you didn't.
Because
have
they're
a
going to go
microphone.
shoot up Target next door.
Maybe they'd be a little healthier if they were able to express themselves through a podcast.
And maybe they could say a bunch of things that other little kids can hear and subscribe to, and it's just foolishness. It's,
Well,
it's
shit, it's
conspiracy
already
theory.
out there anyway.
Hey, we report, you decide. We agree to disagree. That's fine. I know that there's friends of mine who look like me who have a microphone and say Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. Shouldn't have a podcast. Sorry. Just my thought. But we'll keep it going.
Freedom of speech.
There are about freedom of speech, whatever. Okay, if Clarence Thomas has a podcast and he's saying things and setting us back,
Clarence
and
Thomas.
people, he's a Supreme Court justice. Okay, whatever. All right. Anyway, I think there's like 1.7 million podcasts that are out there, something of that nature. What is the biggest thing you think people do and they fail when they get into the podcast space?
Oh, they don't know
Chase.
that it's work. It's actually
Chase.
work.
Facts.
It's actually
Chase.
they just think like, yo, I want to set up cameras. I want to
Yeah.
just talk and put the episodes. They don't
chase.
know the
They chase time. They chase the topic. They try to chase the fame. They try to chase the trend. They don't come with originality.
Think about it like this: like out of that 1.7, I would pay to know how many of those 1.7 did 5 episodes and then stop doing it because they figured out how much work it was.
It's the
work.
same thing. It's the same thing like small businesses. 90% of small businesses fail in the first year.
Yep.
So people's like, yo, I hear so many people, hey, you doing a podcast? And they're like, everybody got a podcast. I should do a podcast. I should do a podcast. And then everyone realizes that. And then let's talk about the numbers. The numbers. Podcast is humbling. You think that, yo, all these people will come in and you see you got 4 views. And it's like, yo. Well, then I'm like, who are these 4 people? I want to take y'all to McDonald's or something. Like, I appreciate you.
You know?
So how has it been with the numbers and finances and everything with you guys?
Up and down.
Like,
We've had some number wise where it was like, whoa, this is crazy. Then we had some number wise where it was like, should we still do this? Should we continue?
no, like it's weird because looking at our demographic, like each month we put out a demographic report to see where our listeners come from.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're a Philly-based podcast, so of course we get a lot of Philly-based listeners, but like we get a lot of
offshore listeners,
out of country listeners.
Yeah,
All right, we got listeners from India.
Is that our highest group?
I forget that they have internet sometimes. I really do forget.
India, I think India is our highest group. Then right behind India, for some weird reason, is the Russian Federation.
Yeah.
Wait, who?
The Russian Federation.
They're listening to your podcast.
1.97% of our podcast listeners come from Russia.
Yeah.
Or in that area.
Well, you got to understand something. Russia has been meddling and colluding with America for so long. So what they're doing with their cyber warfare is they're logging in and they're trying to create fake news. And they're trying to make sure if it's a black people podcast, they're trying to probably put you against other blacks. So you got to understand that it's probably coming out there to tear you down.
If Russia is giving me an extra 1.97% listeners, bring it on. Oh fuck.
Also think Russia. Laugh track is over. I watch sitcoms. You gotta wait till laugh track is over. So Russia's also very dictatorship country. You would think that they want to hear a show called Mansplaining. Like, it's a very male-dominated country.
You know what I mean?
Like, do you think women have driver license in Russia?
I think they probably do. I know in North Korea they don't. I know in India they don't. In Russia, Putin's daughter probably has a driver's license for sure, 110%. People don't know Putin has a daughter. So I'll Google it.
He used the vaccine on her. She was the first one to test the vaccine.
Gotcha. All right.
Is she hot?
You won't know who she is.
Probably not.
The KGB.
No, like let's be honest. Like I think Ivanka Trump's ugly.
I disagree. I disagree.
I think Ivanka's great.
I think she's
Yeah,
nice.
I think she's ugly. I don't find nothing attractive about her.
I think she's nice.
I'd smash.
Oh, this guy in a heartbeat. You kidding me?
Yeah.
No, leave
The
her alone.
Russian Federation is about to come after you. Okay. Talking about Ivanka Trump like that.
Her name is Russian.
Yeah, her name is. Oh, well, I think her mom was Russian.
So,
My business.
everyone's goal is
That sounds like
to
a clean podcast.
is to monetize these podcasts.
Yes.
Are you guys achieving that? And you can say less because I don't want people hitting you up saying, "Oh, y'all making bread on podcasts? Hey, y'all."
Yeah. So the business side of the podcast is its own world in itself, right?
Yep.
You got to create it, production, boom, create it. But trying to position your podcast to make money, like from affiliation deals, from promotion deals, from advertising plays. We're lucky enough to as though if you play in the episode, we'll get. It won't be much money per play, but we'll get money per play, right? So then the other part of the business is affiliation deals. We're lucky enough that we deal with CBDMD.com that you'll see sprinkled around throughout all the episodes and the description and stuff like that. And
So let me ask you this: are you a member of the podcast, the PDA
podcast. What's that? No.
Association, the podcast?
I know there's an NPA, National Podcast Association. But
Oh
never
yeah,
heard of it.
I'm sorry, MPA. Because see, the thing is, I was triggered. I was thinking NWA. Are you a member of the MPA?
No, but I actually just I bumped into them, like not physically, but I bumped into I got an email from them. Like,
So
yeah.
we are members of that,
Yeah.
and we got a VIP ticket to the festival.
Right,
So I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna take you. All right.
What you talking about, yeah.
Okay. If you're the businessman, you don't take you. You then is like, listen, dude. All I gotta do is better come be the talent, and the looks and the jokes. All the business stuff. I tried to interview him about your podcast. He's like, I can't do it without my crew.
Yeah.
Assemble my crew. Assemble my crew. But sometimes you can't be everywhere at all times. Someone like
I'm a great representative, but when it comes to sitting it down,
Negro.
Okay.
but when it comes to sitting down talking about my podcast, like talking about the podcast, no, it's gonna be three of us.
Okay.
Present it all I want, but when it's sitting down,
We're gonna go with, as we're closing, some final thoughts, closing statements. Guys, tell me where you want to take the podcast, and we'll shout out your social media and stuff, and then we'll go from there. And then hopefully I'll come back to your podcast, have a better representation of myself than the first time that I did, and then we'll go from there. So final thoughts from all of you guys.
So I know he wanted to, as far as taking the podcast, I know he wanted to do live shows at some point, which I think would be dope. I actually want to get into live broadcasting, like turn it into some type of radio show / podcast. Kind of turn it into an imprint.
You
So
do both?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll do a radio show, and then the podcast will be the podcast. It'll be a radio broadcast, and then it could be a live show. So then you have like an umbrella of,
Yeah.
you're giving out too much information.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
This
Yeah.
not even our podcast.
I know,
You're giving out too much game.
But,
Shut
yeah.
up.
It's a gunshot. It's a gunshot. Shoot him. Kill him.
No, basically what he said is, you know what I mean? Listen, I just want to do live shows. I just want to put our name out there. Like, I think, you know what I mean? We got some shit to say. So, that's it.
I want to have a girl on this podcast one day as like a member.
Oh, as a member, that would be interesting. I'm pretty much the same way. As long as the podcast is growing, that's really all I care about. And then I got some individual things that I'm doing, but I'll share those at a later date and time.
All right, so say it.
He's a stripper.
Say it verbally, and we'll drop it on the screen too. Show out, because we have the audio cast too on Buzzsprout. So show out your.
You a Buzzsprout?
We're Buzzsprout.
Nice.
Whatever. Tell us your social media information.
Well, the podcast is Mansplaining P at Twitter at Mansplaining P. Super important to follow the
Twitter account.
Follow the Twitter account. Follow the SNL Media's YouTube page.
You guys on TikTok, Instagram?
No.
No.
Okay. All right. Cool. Awesome. I'm Russell Simmons of the podcast. Thanks for coming out. You guys have been great. Live, love, learn, laugh.